What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity build-up video. Today we're going to be talking about the new storage assignment. We talked about it when it first came in. I told you guys that I needed some screenshots and that I would try to get something up by the end of the week for you guys to have a technique. I'm not 100% done collecting data, but I have enough to where I can give you guys a technique to play, with, and you'll be able to refer to the comm guide if need be. So for those of you guys who do not have the link for this, you will want to click the description. You should see the 2022 comm link. It is also on our Facebook page. If you want to join us on Facebook, SimCity Build It, MissyAnne all the alerts and things like that go up there before they go up here. So if you come to the channel for updates the day that something happens, like a technical difficulty or a pass being released, you're definitely going to want to be on our Facebook page to get the immediate notification for that. Okay, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel so that you get notified anytime I do design live streams, which I haven't done in a while, or post a video. All right, so let's talk about what this new assignment means for the game in itself. And I'm not 100% sure if EA has any clue how much they really just screwed themselves up, because they really, I don't think they've really thought this one through, how this assignment was going to change SimCity overall. Now, it has been reported by at least 7 people on my Discord and my Facebook group that they have got this assignment in the streaks, but nobody took a screenshot of that. So I do not have proof that it does come up in the streaks. Anybody watching this who did get it in the streaks and took a screenshot, please send it to me, okay? So I have actual proof that it did happen. Now, one thing that I have learned with this game is that when somebody tells me that something happened that normally does not happen, like let's say they got an 800 keys when they're not supposed to or something, I don't say that, no, you didn't, you're lying. I say, well, that's EA for you, because that is EA. Things that are not supposed to happen, they happen. So just be prepared for that, like a double monster or something. I'm trying to find the latest thing here. Hold on. This comm guide is very long. All right, so here is the new task. Storage upgrade, okay? So far we've only seen this assignment at 2K and 3K values. The way that this assignment is going to change the game overall, let's talk for low-level players. For low-level players on the Missy's Building Guide, I'm already getting questions, should we save our storage and do this assignment only for the contest? No. But use common sense, okay? So for example, don't just save all your storage and only do the storage upgrades for the Contest of Mayors assignments. But if you have enough for an upgrade and you know that you're going to be in Mega, you know that this task is going to be possibly in your list, then yeah, hold on to them for a day or a couple hours or whatever to benefit from the assignment. But do not make it a priority 100% of the time to hold your storage pieces and only upgrade for the purpose of the contest. Okay? Now, anytime that I make rules for an assignment, I have to look at multiple different things. One of those things is the value of the assignment, then algorithm, opportunity, risk, all that stuff, okay? And all this stuff is super, super important. If you don't know what this stuff means, if you're not looking at these factors when you're choosing your assignments, you will never be able to choose your assignments 100% correct by playing my technique, okay? Because you really do need to understand why these categories are even put into place for you to properly understand why we're choosing the assignments the way that we are. So how is this assignment going to change the game? Well, for low-level players on the Missy's Building Guide, most of you guys are very high in storage capacity. And you're that high in storage capacity not just because of the Mayor's Pass and, the weekly chest from your group and things like that, but because you hunt the global market like a lot of people do. Anytime that there is a side pass you got with storage in it, then you'll start to see an increase in storage items on the global market. A lot of people will put off upgrading their storage because they don't have enough pieces, or they're wanting to sell the items for coin because they don't understand how bad that really is. But the point that I'm getting at is more people are going to be wanting to get that assignment done, and they're not going to be selling the storage items that they were selling before. So what does this mean for the game overall? It means that there's really not going to be any storage at all for anybody. And it was already pretty scarce out there. So be prepared for global to pretty much dry up. Now, another thing that you're going to be noticing, and I don't know if this was EA's intention, but a lot of people are going to be spending the cash just to buy the storage pieces, get their storage maxed out, and just be done with it. Once that happens, and more people have their storage maxed out than not, then you'll start to see an overload of storage on the global market, right? Now, unlike Dozer, where most high-level players have all their land unlocked, not a lot of high-level players have their storage unlocked. So for high-level players, this is a really screwed up thing for them to do, because you can't even find storage already. And now it's going to be even more obsolete. So, I mean, this assignment is really only an issue for you, right? This goes for both high and low level players, but worse for high level players because their algorithm for storage is pretty low already. All right, that being said, that has a huge reason why I wrote this technique the way that I did. All right, so knowing that this assignment can come in increments of 2K and 3K. Now we want to look at algorithm. How frequently does this assignment pop up? Now, algorithm, this task has a high algorithm. Now, I judge algorithm by 4 scales: low, medium, high, extremely high, okay? It's in the comm guide, up here in the nosebleeds. Jesus. This is ridiculous. Hold on a second. Look at all this unpaid work. I know, I must be crazy. Oh, for heck's sake. I want you guys to see this because I just added it in to the comm guide for you guys to make it more. If you guys notice anything missing in this, tell me, because I don't, use it. I only write it. So if there's something missing, I need to know. Okay, task assessment. Here we talk about, what's a main task, rotatable, and so forth. Limited, non-premiums, okay. What is going on? There we go. It's right at the top. Okay, so here, value difference, opportunity, all that good stuff. So here's algorithm, okay? The rate in which a task will come back. The first one is low. So this means that it shows up maybe one time in the contest. Now, keep in mind that when I judge algorithm for a task, it does not mean that that task cannot come in at a higher rate. It means that the overall average of that task's algorithm is what I set it at. So for example, and I want this to be made very, very clear, you guys have an assignment called Upgrade Regional Hotspot for 1100. That assignment has a low algorithm rate. You almost never see it. When you do see it, you almost never get it back. However, as many of you guys know from watching the walkthroughs, you know what a repeat task is, right? That is an assignment that comes back in 1 week of the contest, and it comes back more frequently than its algorithm should. So let's say this 1 week you had that particular assignment 4 times. Does that mean that it has a high algorithm? No, because for the next 6 months, you probably won't ever see it again more than 1 time in a week, right? It just means that that week's repeat task was that way. So, that being said, a low algorithm assignment usually pops up maybe one time, if at all, in one round of comm, unless it's a repeat task based on week. That's what that means. Now, medium, it shows up 3 to 5 times in one round. So let's say like a regional house upgrade, okay? And we're talking about a specific house upgrade. So let's say you've had a wave limestone one. Usually you would get that about 3 to 5 times, and then you'll probably get other regional house upgrades, but they get judged separately based on the task that they are. Medium, or high, shows up several times in one round of comm. So we know that regional house upgrades show up more frequently than hotspots, right? But we also know that Omega upgrades show up more frequently than regional. So that's why we've judged it low, medium, high. Now, what is higher than an Omega? Monster, keys, repair, coins, those have extremely high algorithm rates. They're assignments that are almost always in your list 100% of the time, okay? Now, when we look at the storage assignment that just came in, almost everybody had it in their starting list, and I don't know if that was just because it was brand new this week. That does happen sometimes, but people were doing the assignment or canceling it, and it was coming back rather quickly. So we marked it at high because it's not showing to be in the list 100% of the time just yet. It's not quite as high as Monster, but it is pretty up there, okay, in terms of algorithm. That being said, if the value increments are of 2K and 3K value, right? And you know you can't do this assignment repeatedly. And I want to make this very clear too. Collecting temporary storage from the past does not work for this assignment. It's been tested multiple times by multiple people. It does not work, okay? So, that being said, if you get this assignment in your list for 3,000 points, whether you are a high or low level player, what does that mean for you? That means that you have one of your main 3K tasks taken up. It would be advised that you do the assignment as quickly as you can within the first 20 to 25 tasks, because right now, remember at the beginning of the video when I told you guys that there was some data I was waiting on? And that data is that we don't know if this assignment can come in the streaks. So until we know for sure 100% that it cannot, we need to treat it as though it can. And if it does come in the streaks, that's going to be a huge issue for you if you cannot do it. If it does have a high algorithm, then that means that it could come back multiple times in the streaks, if that's possible, right? So we really would not want that to happen to you guys and have you fail or have to spend ridiculous amounts of cash buying storage parts, which I don't recommend. Now, the best way to get this taken care of is to only do this assignment if it is at 3K value and if it's within the first 20 to 25 assignments, okay? Or if you are at the end of the week where value trumps opportunity and you're done with the streaks. So let's say that you're within the first 20 to 25 assignments and you have this assignment in your list for 2,000 points. Do not do it, okay? As I wrote here, mark it no touch. Why? Because if it's going to be in your list, a huge portion of the contest, if not the entire damn thing, you would want it to be in your list with a lower value than a higher value. You don't want it to sit there at 3K. You would rather it sit there at 2K, all right? One 2K task is not going to make or break you. Does it suck? Yeah, of course it sucks. But it is what it is. You got to find a way to deal with the issue. Now, one thing that I want you guys to remember anytime this happens is that if people always see stuff like this and they think, well, this sucks. This is going to lower my score. This is going to hinder my contest of mayors and blah, 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 blah. But what you're not realizing is that the competition is not the same as it was before this assignment for other people. So if it sucks for you, it sucks for everybody. So as long as you're playing the best technique for the really crappy situation, then you're still on top of the game, right? Like, you're still doing good. If everybody's in, like, just for example, let's say that everybody's in reverse rotation. As long as you're playing the best out of everybody who's in a bad situation, then that means that you'll end up on top, right? Same thing with this concept. You're not the only one that has to deal with this. Everybody else does too. And I can't tell you how many people are stressing about this, not realizing that other people have to deal with it too. So don't trip on it, okay? If it's in your list and it's taking up a 2K placement, it's in somebody else's list taking up a 2K placement. It's working against them too. Now, as long as it's there, we're 3,000 points, try to get it done. Try to get it to come back for 2,000 points. If it's there for 2,000, don't even touch it. It's not worth it. Even if you can do it a second time, it doesn't mean that it's not going to continue to come back for 3,000 points. So just leave it alone if it's at 2K. If it's at 3K, do it within the first 25 assignments so that you can make sure that it comes back before the streaks, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, let's say the streaks are over and you have enough storage parts. It's the highest assignment in the list. Value trumps opportunity here. Now the risk is gone. So the whole reason why we wouldn't do it at 2,000 points if we had the parts to do it is because of the risk, because of the fact that doing it just causes more problems than good. Once that risk has been eliminated, you can now treat it like a doable assignment. Now, if you're done with the streaks and it's the highest task in the list and you have the storage parts to do it, that means that you're at the point in rules of rotation where value trumps opportunity. So you're going to be running low on assignments anyway. So it doesn't really matter if the assignment comes back at 3K because you're only going to have a couple tasks anyways, right? That is the only other time you do this assignment, okay? So after the streaks, when value trumps opportunity, or within the first 25 assignments of the contest at the value of 3,000 points only. All right? It's pretty simple, straightforward. Here I explained to you guys the risk. The risk is that if you do this, you have a 50-50 chance of it coming back for 2,000 and 3,000 points. If it only comes in increments of 2 value points, then you have a 50-50 chance of getting it back for 3,000. And you don't want to have to continually do that, okay? Here, I talk about the same thing that I just told you guys. Now, I'm going to make a point of saying this really quick, you guys. I would say 98% of the reason why people make mistakes when they play the contest is because they flat-ass don't follow the rules of the assignment. They don't. They bend the rules or they ignore them. When you mark, and this is just an example, so many people come to me for training, and it'll be something like a 1,300 sugar, okay? And I'll see that they did the sugar, and I'm like, why did you do that? Oh, well, I had time. Oh, well, it was my highest task at the time. Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. What is the rule on a 1,300 sugar? What do you mark it at the beginning of the contest? No touch. When you refer to the comm guide, what does it say? It says no touch, right? Okay. So unless you are at the end of the week and you are at value trumps opportunity, you would not do sugar, right? So unless sugar is the highest in the list and you're on your tickets where value trumps opportunity, you wouldn't do it. It would be no touch. That being said, why did you do it? Oh, because, and then the reasons start coming in. If you're lucky, you get a reason. That's my point. There is a reason why we don't do it. I have thought of all of those reasons that you are listing, and I combat those reasons with risk versus reward. So you screwed up by not following the technique, by trying to bend the rules of the assignment, right? So when you guys see the rules of the assignments in the comm guide, follow them. I wouldn't tell you to mark something no touch if there was a circumstance in which you would do the assignment. See what I'm saying? Okay. So coins is a prime example. I cannot tell you how many people, they mark it last resort rotatable. They know it's a last resort rotatable. They see it in the comm guide say last resort rotatable to be done just before the streaks to bring in upgrades or factory productions only. Algorithm is high, comes back within 2 to 6 rotations, right? They know this. They're at 55 tasks remaining. They have nothing else going for them. And they do coins. Why? They completely ignore the fact that the assignment is only going to return. It's only going to lower their average. They know that it is a last resort rotatable. And they do it anyways. Because they are looking at their list and they're determining by the looking at their list that value is what is most important here, not opportunity for better tasks for longer durations of time. When they do that, they lower their average, the task returns within 2 to 6 rotations, and now they've lowered their average, they haven't opened up any better opportunity, they've screwed up the rotation order, and now they have to have that assignment back in their list, sometimes worth more, taking up a higher place value. And they're right back where they started, except for they have less tasks and less points. Now they have to make another decision, and they have to choose something else because that path didn't work. You knew it wasn't going to work before you took it. So why even take it? This is why I get frustrated with people. The techniques are here, okay? The rules of the assignments are here. Follow the rules of the assignments and you'll do great. But if you bend the rules or you don't follow them, they're not going to work. So when it comes to this assignment, the same thing applies. Don't look at it for 2,000 points in your list and say, well, I have the parts and screw it, I'll just do it. Why not? It's 2,000 points. Then it comes back for 3K. And now you're stuck with a 3K task in your list instead of a 2K task. Or, how about this? It blocks off your good doorway. Yeah, that can happen too. That would really suck, wouldn't it? Now you've got your good doorway blocked off. Or you rotated it way too close to streaks and now you've got a big problem. Saying that it can come in the streaks. Don't ignore the rules of the assignment. Okay, if you want to play using my technique, apply all the rules 100% of the time.